Wonderful. Perfect.
To be here.
Because libraries are wonderful.
All right. Any conflicts of interest in ex parte communications? Move on. I would then look for an approval of the agenda. If everyone's had a chance to take a look at that, any additions?
I will make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. I would entertain a motion for the consent agenda, which would be approving the minutes of the special meeting on May 16th and to file and accept the financial report.
Motion to approve meeting minutes.
Have a
A
second?
second.
Thank you.
Raising up, so typically would be a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Okay, motion to approve consent agenda.
Second.
Well done, Wilton. Any discussion? All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Move on to any unfinished business. Gosh, that's the best darn looking unfinished business we've
Yes.
ever had.
Clean slate.
And new business. So we are looking for a motion to approve paying Jeff Clark $550 for the installation of a GFI outlet as to cover
I
as
will make
part
a
of the holiday.
motion to approve paying Jeff Clark 500 in an amount not to exceed $550 for the installation of GFI outlet covers as part of the winter holiday lights display.
Have a second.
You can
Oh, it's fine. Second. I mean, it's fine.
Wonderful. I believe this is discussion. It has been discussed as part of our budget. Is there any other comment?
Sounds wonderful.
All right, as this is a financial financial expenditure, we will with a roll call vote. Mr. Byer?
Rove.
Ms. Ensley?
Yes.
Ms. Conley?
Yes.
Ms. Howland?
Yes.
Mr. Ringler votes yes. Mr. Vriesinger?
Yes.
Motion carries. We'll move on then to a motion to authorize the city manager to pay ongoing bills related to the installation of the holiday light display in an amount not to exceed 8G.
So just as a matter of background here. So Ms. Ensley and I have been working on getting the winter holiday lights displays up, and sometimes these kind of come up in between your meetings. And they are a little time sensitive because we do order these things from, I'm sure, China. So we have budgeted $8,000 for the winter lights. I believe you guys are all on board with the winter lights display. So this is an offer to allow me to pay those as they come up, but not to exceed the budget.
May I comment? I do appreciate the winter holiday light display you have going today. This is very sporty of you.
Yes.
Do I have a motion to approve?
I will make a motion to authorize the city manager to pay ongoing bills related to the installation of the winter holiday lights display in an amount not to exceed $8,000.
Second.
Thank you so much. Any other discussion? As this also is a financial expenditure, I will go with a roll call vote. Mr. Byer?
Rove.
Ms. Ensley?
Yes.
Ms. Conley?
Yes.
Ms. Howland?
Yes.
Mr. Ringler votes yes, and Mr. Vriesinger?
Yes.
Motion carries. Move on to a discussion regarding, gosh darn it, I flipped too far. A strategic planning session for the DDA.
So I think some of you attended the strategic planning session we had with the city council. I think it really kind of narrowed the focus of what the city council wants to accomplish over the next couple of years. This board now has money, which is always a nice thing to have, right? Not too long ago, we did not have money. So I think it's probably appropriate at some point in the near future to sit down with this board and hold a strategic planning session so that we can start identifying beyond the little knickknack stuff we do every year, what your long-term goals might be. I've talked to a couple of people who do this type of work. You're probably looking about $800 to $1,000.
Which resort are we going to?
I'm sorry.
I hope it's free because that ain't gonna buy us much drinks.
It's called the fire station.
Well, I can handle your request. So.
I hear that a couple of restaurants in town have, private rooms as well. Yeah, so I mean, Sensley, you were at that one, weren't you?
Yes. Yeah.
Session. So I mean, it's fairly simple. It's a SWOT analysis. We talk about what you guys want to accomplish, and then it helps me when we put together your budget and spending to kind of focus on those things. And also just obviously for the future, if somebody comes off the board. Their ideas stay with us on paper.
Can we do it towards the fall?
We can do whatever you guys want, but it's more of a,
In the
it's
summer?
it's $800 to $1,000. And I didn't know if it was something you guys wanted to do.
To
Is-
clarify,
what-
Mr. Manager, to clarify what the manager is saying, may I speak, Mr. Chairman?
Fire away.
I think what he's asking is this something you would like to do so that he can go see about a person and then come back to us with a potential of dates?
The cost is for a consultant to come in or?
Correct.
So you guys deal with me all the time. It's nice to have somebody who doesn't have to worry.
With a pleasure.
Fired for saying the wrong thing. So yeah, outside consultant.
It's also their like specific job to do that. Like we at the city bring people in like that periodically.
I would echo Ms. Ensley. If we did something like that, the fall might be better.
Yeah.
They probably won't be available until after that anyway.
Perfect. I think it's a
Yeah,
good
I think it's a
idea.
good idea.
I do too.
You guys have a time frame in the fall, October, December.
Probably not October.
Probably
Not around the
December.
first weekend of October.
Yeah.
Weather gets crappy.
Yeah, right.
It's crappy. Well, in Michigan, you're never quite sure when that's gonna happen.
Usually by Thanksgiving. It's bad.
I
Well,
would say
I would-
maybe mid-September
Yeah.
or mid-October would be smart.
The bottom falls out for us November 1st, so. Happens every year.
Mhm.
Reality though, right?
Madam Clerk, do you know when the November meeting? That's what I was wondering about. Do you guys have that information? It might be in your
The
agenda.
first week will be elections,
Well, there's my mouse.
Because,
so maybe second-ish week.
That's deer hunting. If any of the guys here deer hunt.
you guys are just ruining November.
Well, I mean, I'm trying to think.
I have,
I am not going to be
Yeah,
here.
that was excellent.
I have November 21 for DDA on my phone calendar.
Okay, yeah, I think that is that.
So would November 21 work for any or everybody? Maybe, possibly.
I can take a personal day.
Well, so think on it, look at your calendars, and if no opposition, we'll start planning for that as a date.
Okay.
You guys have a preference
Dependent.
for outside consultants or just wherever I want to pick?
It might depend a little bit on consultant availability too.
Yeah.
I'll bring back some information about that as well. Try to set a date maybe by your next meeting.
Wonderful. If that is, if we can close that, then we move on to discussion regarding our social districts.
So I guess first question is, we've had a couple of dates now where a social district could operate. Didn't know if Ms. Harp was going to be here. So Mr. Ringler, I guess you could talk on that if you'd like. But also with the council's resolution, it does give the city manager authorization to add dates and times. And so I've chosen to do that for some of our community events that specifically requested. The Patriot Motor event, which will be July 2nd, has specifically requested that. So I've authorized it. You'll see it, my authorization there. It's from 12 noon till 5 p.m. So I guess this is open for any discussion related to social districts and how they're currently operating.
Nobody knows about it other than Wednesdays.
Mr. Chairman? May I?
And so-
Yeah, go ahead. Hmm?
I would just say that I have been at the concert in the parks on the last 2 Wednesdays, and I thought that they were splendid. It went really well. Nobody was being ridiculous and people seem to be enjoying themselves, and I certainly don't think there's any problems with expanding it.
Mr. Ringler, to your point, though, I agree, Tuesdays and Thursdays, probably nobody even knows about it.
Right.
But the city also just isn't set up. We don't have a area with a bunch of picnic tables. We don't have
Yeah.
other musical events. So,
I mean, this board has been in favor of expanding it regardless anyway. Obviously, that was the decision for this year, was those days, but I don't think the general public has any sense other than Wednesdays, which has been ongoing now for 2 years, that it exists. So we have not seen any problems in our experience.
not so much problems, but I agree. I'd like to see more people coming into town for Tuesdays and Thursdays to take advantage of the social district. I also haven't noticed the 17 North Main property. I did ask that we have some picnic tables put out there. Have they been put out there?
I haven't seen any.
I mean, eventually we're gonna have that pocket park in.
Mhm.
So people people will be able to take advantage of that. But
Maybe some advertising could be added to the comedy at the Kent, saying that the social district is in place.
Do we have
prior.
signs?
For what?
So for the social district?
We do a few.
There's a few out there.
They get stolen too, so I have to go out and fix them.
Why don't we just have metal ones put up?
Because they were expensive. Now I do have a budget for it. I just haven't gotten around to buying new ones, but I thought about buying maybe those oval stickers that you could maybe put anywhere. instead. But you know, people tend to not want to just come out and drink a beer. They want to do something, you know, as well. So not sure if you guys have ideas or if you want to budget for and spend for anything related to that on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
I think in terms of social media, it's been mentioned, but the DDA page has been putting it out there, but how far that reaches.
I don't know if it,
Limited.
I don't know if it would promote business in Cedar Springs, but there's this Bend, Oregon does this thing where every Friday night shopkeepers offer free beer and wine, just without a license, just giving it away. And
I wonder what the Michigan Liquor Control Commission.
it's in a
Maybe ask.
social zone, maybe, I don't know. They do it there, and I'm telling you, you gotta park 2 miles out of town just to walk in. And then they have the Defender Club, the Porsche Club, face painting, mimes, just, it's crazy. It's like a carnival every Friday night. And it's pretty cool, and all the shops benefit from it.
Like Sunset Celebration in Key West.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once word gets out, it becomes a circus event. That's kind of crazy.
Well, and maybe part of this strategic planning session then might become, we have to have a subcommittee each year in the winter to develop something like this. Because Comedies of the Kent, we've had some people come in, I'm not sure if they're going to dinner before or after or not, or if they're shopping before or after or not. But concerts in the park, we get lots of people coming in, so. Any events you guys want to do, we just have to plan for and budget for it.
And guys like Cascade Winery, would come down, like a lot of these people just had like a winery or a local brewery that wanted to get their product out there, distilleries, and they would,
You can't give away alcohol in Michigan, so the free part is a non-starter, but
You could have
you can have an event
discounted,
certainly.
you could have like a special, I don't know,
Absolutely.
dollar, whatever.
penny.
You can't do that either. You can't sell alcohol for less than cost in Michigan. Or give it away or incentivize anyone with alcohol.
You can give away a pre-rolled joint of marijuana for a penny.
That you can do.
Well, when I go into like Riverside Liquors and the guys set up and Beards Brewing is there and they give me a glass to sample, is that
You can do
illegal?
sampling. Those are registered with the state when you do those as promos. And those are strictly limited. I think it's 3 ounces per person. You got to card them type of thing.
Maybe you could do something like that. You do a taste of.
Dave does
Well,
do that.
We can do tastings anytime.
But I mean, you could have an event where you do tastings and like Jody,
For a year we have, yeah.
well,
Well, what these do-
I'm saying
what they
for the
do
whole
with these is, like,
community.
To get into your shop, they would
Yeah.
come in and shop for antiques and have a wine.
I hate to say it, but I have given wine away in my shop.
Yes, I'm aware that the sheriff's department likes to stop by and check on it.
I sometimes stack cases of unwanted stuff outside of my place and they just walk away.
I mean,
I know cosmetologists, like hairdressing places. will sometimes do it.
Absolutely.
It's also illegal and they get busted every once in a
Yep.
while.
Sure.
Yeah, there was a case about 15 years ago with Jude's was giving a can of PBR to
Yes.
everybody and they got busted. It's
Mhm.
technically illegal. It's tolerated unless somebody complains, nobody goes in. But that's the way,
so we just need to figure out an event so we can draw some more people in town, basically. Because
it doesn't have to involve free, but
typically
Right.
we see stuff, people in town on Thursdays and Fridays are usually pretty busy
yeah,
downtown.
absolutely.
But
Well, there's events on those days. I mean, you have the
Yeah,
car show,
yeah.
the music on Wednesdays, you have the Jeep thing on Thursdays, and there's plenty of activities. So,
exactly.
and this is the first year of Comedies of the Kent, and it is,
Yes.
we are getting, you can see the attendance numbers here in the correspondence, but
I would say maybe you
Getting
want
some
to add a taste of something or whatever before the comedies at the Kent.
we've had a taste of Cedar Springs for 2 years now, running at the, but during the bike race.
I'm
where
saying
we-
like maybe it's an every Tuesday where like come and get snacks. So,
The problem is the Kent Theater also sells snacks.
Mhm.
And part of why they agreed to do this is because they need money.
Sure.
Anyways, perhaps it's a winter activity to start focus more on,
That's a
other-
good thing for our long-term planning discussion.
Yes.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that on July 2nd. Hopefully that works out okay. So I'm not sure how he's,
If I recall correctly, you'll know better than I. Didn't that law get extended either for a number of years or indefinitely? The social-
what's that? The social zone? Yes, that's permanent now.
So, I mean, I don't know when we'll have a pocket park at 17 North Main, but I would love to see that be utilized given when it's built for social district purpose.
Any other discussion on social districts for now? We're working on a world record here. Let's move on to correspondence. 2022 calendar.
So the clerk puts the calendar in there just as a handy reference for you guys to know when your meetings are.
Duly noted. Concert in the park.
I went to Versus last week. I saw the mayor there. It was great. Weather was actually nice for a change. And we're looking forward to the next one, unless it's country or western.
I'm making a point.
You like both kinds of music?
Mr. Chairman, I am making a point of trying to be at least at the beginning of each one of those and trying to make a point of thanking the performers for being there and saying, on behalf of the city. And just, I don't know, I'm trying to make a point of making that happen.
And of course, Ms. Powell attends virtually every one.
Yeah, Miss Powell is amazing. She's at everything, always.
No, I mean, they think they've gone really well. I'm bummed that Jody isn't here. I'd like to hear her feedback on both the comedies and on the music at the heart, but. I mean,
Are you noticing an uptick in?
Wednesdays are good. Tuesdays are horrible, but Wednesdays are good. And it's certainly once kids are out of school and this helps. I mean, the social district is a good thing for us. No question. So. It's a good event. People seem to enjoy it. I know the entertainers are very pleased to be doing a larger event and they like that venue. So the feedback we get from them is also very, very positive. That's a lovely venue and the more use that venue gets, the better. So.
Mhm.
Anything else on music in the heart from anyone? Comedies at the Kent.
So likewise, I'd like to hear from Jody how that's turning out for her business, since it's obviously a lot closer.
Closer to her, yeah.
Business than yours. Yeah, I mean, I've been hearing, positive things about it. I see we've had, according to Mr. Hopkins, 55, 30, and 65 people. First year event, who knows, how successful it will be, but I think it's a good use of our time and money on a Tuesday. I just wish there were better ways, or at least.
The last 2 Tuesdays have been super hot and super humid, so that's been part of the challenge, I would think. I know we haven't really seen too much of a bump, although I do think a few people probably do come in but it's good that venue is being used. I think that's absolutely a positive thing, and it's an event that'll grow, so.
Oh, I think so too.
Anybody else? We would move on to the 2022 budget.
Similar to the calendar, I just put in there so you guys have a constant reminder of what we have budgeted for the year. And obviously it makes it easier for us to say, oh, well, we don't want to do this year. We'll change it to something else.
Ready, and the DDA director's report.
Not much other than the fact that I think we should do a strategic planning session. I think that'll be beneficial to us. And I think we'll probably need to have some kind of subcommittee meetings, maybe less than what we have going on here, to get a little bit more in detail about, well, what do we want to tackle from a perspective of events throughout the year, bring more people in. That's what I got.
Thank you. I will move on then to trustee comments, and we will start with the mayor on the far left.
The only thing I have to tell you is that I attended a meeting this last week that is hosted by the Michigan Trails Group. Get out is their is their logo. I was invited by our representative Carol Glanville, and the reason that it matters to you all is they are paving the White Pine Trail from Sand Lake to Big Rapids, I want to say. Anyway, another
Wow.
chunk.
Awesome.
And it
Yeah.
tips us into a place that there is sort of this magic number that when you have 100 miles of paved trail, it becomes a tourist destination for trail hikers and bikers. And this, with the connections to the Grand Rapids trails, tips us to that place. So when we're looking at business type of things, like that's a thing.
We
we
need a
might wanna
bike
look
shop
at.
there.
We need a
And
bike shop
the
so bad.
city has created a PUD, I should say the planning commission, am I right, Mr. Manager?
Overlay zone.
That's an overlay zone on the White Pine Trail that would allow for like pop-up businesses to sell food and sandwiches and that kind of thing. So for what it's worth, that's the thing.
Awesome. Absolutely.
So as we tip into that 100-mile zone.
After lunch.
You know when that project will start or when they're gonna do that? Is
This
there a
summer.
time? This
This
summer.
summer,
So they'll pave it this summer.
that's my understanding.
That'd actually be amazing because I go up to Sand Lake and turn around.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Many people do.
I just bought a brand new bike and I planned on going the other direction.
I guess there's also a section coming the other way from Cadillac that they're
Oh,
adding on to.
Yeah, because if you can take
it's-
that, it goes all the way around Cadillac Lake. Which
Right.
is really.
And this is supposed to get it so that it connects, is my
Nice.
understanding
Awesome.
from the
There is a-
breakfast that I
There's a
was at.
section in Reed City already that's,
So,
That's awesome.
That's
Thank-
exciting.
thank you, Mr. Byer.
Other than the fact that I don't know what's the matter with country and western music, I'm fine.
And you guys have a food truck today.
Man, where'd that come from? I didn't
What
even
is
know it. Do we get a permit for that?
No, we did not.
I'm sure we didn't. I don't have an idea.
It's on private property anyhow.
I'll pay the fine. All of a sudden they came to me and said, here's your ticket. For what? That food truck. What? I look out the window, there's a food truck.
What kind of food is it?
I don't know.
Maybe I need to go check it
I don't
out.
know, but I got a ticket. You got a
You
ticket.
got a food truck in your parking lot
It
right
does,
now?
right now.
Yes, right now.
I'm headed down there.
I saw it set
Oh,
up.
please,
yeah.
I share my hair. I don't care.
Oh,
The
what
city
are they
has the
selling?
most
It says Forks
lax
R Us or
ordinance
something
on
on
food
it.
trucks.
They are.
Still can't follow them.
That's
I was-
so
I was-
what?
So what's the fine?
I don't think they're
Ms. Howland,
private property.
we're working on a record here, Ms.
It's
Howland.
summer.
Worst thing that ever the city
It's
ever
great to
did-
see everybody. Hopefully
This
we'll
is
keep
prior
on
to
moving
all of it,
forward.
but I'm gonna tell you,
fast.
He'll remember this. We had,
He points at Mayor Emeritus.
well, he'll remember, that's why. We opened up the used car lot across the street and we put up red, white and the red, white and silver streamers.
Yeah, I remember that.
Right after 9/11. It's a patriotic thing. And these people from the city came down there, not only made us take them down, fined us $50 for
Yep.
being patriotic, and boy, and I got hot. Okay, but you know how much good it did me? None.
I had those at my car lot. How did you know?
Thank you, Mr. Byer. Ms. Howland.
She already said.
Thank you, everybody. It's beautiful summer. Let's enjoy it.
Happy Monday.
Yes.
I have time to polish the motorhome. Thanks for being quick.
Beautiful. One quick question. Did I hear rumor that like April, May was supposed to be the fire barn coming down? Do we know?
July
July, it's July.
12th,
right.
I believe.
Really?
11th, okay.
Beautiful. Thank you all for being here. Record 12:25.
Good job.
No, I don't know. Dave, what did you do? You were like, I'm out of here so